Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Dustin. Dustin is from New York City in the USA. So let's see what Dustin has to say. Enjoy the interview. Okay. So, hello, Dustin. How are you?
Good. How are you
Uh,
doing?
Very well. Thank you so much for taking the time today for the interview. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely.
So, tell me, how's your day been so far?
Oh, it's great. It's my day off. Monday's my day off. That's why I said today would work.
Oh, thank you so much for taking the time for the interview on a day off. Thank you.
Sure. I'm not busy. I'm just drawing and lounging around and stuff.
Amazing. So, Dustin, tell me where you're from.
I was born in Hawaii. I lived in Texas for my early years, and I went to high school in Fort Lauderdale, and then I moved to New York City in 1996.
Wow.
So I
So
came to Brooklyn, and I haven't left the neighborhood. I've been here since '96, same neighborhood.
amazing. And why New York City?
Why not? I mean, I knew I was gonna move here when I was like 7. We were like
Wow.
traveling through the country, and I remember coming to New York City and was like, I'm gonna live here one day for sure.
Wow. And all your
Yeah.
family are back in Hawaii?
No. My family, my dad lives in New Mexico now, and my sister lives in LA. So
See,
those are my immediate family. But
see.
most of
And
my
your
family lives in California.
okay. And what's the best part of living in Brooklyn, in New York City?
Resources.
Tell me about it.
Best food, museums, beautiful parks. Um, and the people are great. The people are really nice. Yeah, I wouldn't live anywhere else.
Tell me the difference between Brooklyn and Manhattan, in your opinion.
In my opinion, Manhattan's basically just a shopping mall, an island of just, you know, capitalism and crap. I mean, like Brooklyn is like has some elements like that too, obviously, but I think that the culture has been pushed out into Brooklyn and Queens a little bit, a lot actually, all of it, in the past 20 years.
I see. And I believe you're an artist, yeah, Dustin?
Yeah, I'm an illustrator, artist. I'm apprenticing to be a tattoo artist right now.
Okay, so tell me, walk me through a little bit about your journey so far as an illustrator.
Well, so I graduated from Pratt in 2000, and I immediately got a job that I worked at for 17 years,
Wow.
teaching kids how to paint interior spaces. So we would go into public schools, and I ran like an after-school program, and I would teach them how to, use a paintbrush like a commercial painting, not art.
Mm-hmm.
We taught them color theory and how color affects attitudes and behavior, and we would change all the public environments of their school. They would pick the colors, they'd vote on them, and I would teach them a marketable skill, and then we'd walk away, with a beautiful facelift, with transformed school learning environment, and we did community services and stuff like that, and that was really fun. And I didn't really focus on my own artwork until like 2008. I started renting a studio, and I started making a shit ton of work, and had a show. And so I kind of devoted maybe like 10 to 15 hours a week of my artwork, to my artwork, and on and off, sometimes a little bit more. But now I've really decided that I want to spend all my time um, making art, and I decided tattooing is what I wanted to do.
Amazing. Okay, so during the show, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your arts, about your life, and also about your point of views. Okay?
Okay.
Before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, would you like to tell me something interesting about yourself?
Something interesting about myself. So let me think. You mean interesting about my personality or like my secret hidden talents?
Not.
I'm really good at karaoke. Um,
There we go. There we
I
go.
um, I love to go dancing a lot. I'm I'm not all thumbs on the dance floor, if that makes sense. And let me think. What else? And something interesting about me. I don't know. I have a couple stupid human tricks, I guess. Like I can William Tell overture on my cheeks or something.
Wow.
I don't know if you want to see that though. I don't know. I'm just kind of curious more as to like where this is veering, or like I don't know why you chose me at random to like, you know, to do this interview.
Because I felt like connecting with you, and I just fired up the message, and you replied, and here we are now making memories.
All right, great.
Justin, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and to share your point of views?
Okay.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. So this is my best friend, okay? Flow from the fun questions. I'm just gonna play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. Right, Dustin, before we start the game, during the journey, if it comes up a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
First question for you is, what is the most romantic thing someone has ever done for you?
Geez. I've had some good ones. I don't know. I had a boyfriend about 15 years ago that we were long distance. And so we would every month on the same date, we would like Zoom each other and have like oh no, this was before Zoom. It would just be photographs. But we'd order a burger and we make little faces on the burger and the bun that represented us, and then we'd like smash them together and eat them when we do them and record the whole experience and stuff like that. And
Wow.
yeah, and sometimes he would like secretly figure out which restaurant I was at and take the bill up before I was even able to pay it and stuff. I always thought that was really romantic. I like that little tradition that we did.
Wow. Do you consider yourself to be a romantic person?
I used to be. I've been with my current boyfriend now for like 6 years, and we're just like we're not very romantic with each other. We have a great time together. We love each other and everything, but we don't do all the cute little things that we used to do. It's all right. I'm easygoing like that. I don't have expectations.
Totally. And he's from New York City.
He lives in New York City, yeah. He lives in Bed-Stuy, not far from me.
Okay. Next question. Let's do it. Next question is, what is your favorite kitchen smell?
My favorite kitchen smell. I would say the bacon thing would work for me the best. Bacon and coffee. That's a great combo.
Today I was talking to a friend about the smell of coffee. I don't drink coffee or I like often, but I love the smell of coffee. It feels so like a fresh morning, starting of a day. Do you know what I mean? I love it.
Oh yeah, it's. I don't drink it anymore either. It gives me heartburn, but I love the fucking smell of it. Yeah.
Do you like cooking?
I do like to cook. Yeah.
Tell me something that you cook that your boyfriend and your friends they like the most.
Well, I'll do some fancy stuff, but like one thing I like to do for my friends, I like to do it's called frogmore stew, and it's kind of like a crab broil, and I get a giant pot that I season really, really, really heavily with like Jamaican jerk seasoning and anise and just like garlic and onions, and it's very, very aromatic, and just this big boiling pot, and I throw in kielbasa and potatoes and corn on the cob and you do it time appropriately. You throw in things, you have this much time left. You throw in the Brussels sprouts sometimes, and at the end, you throw in the shrimp, or I get jumbo shrimp from Chinatown, or mussels or crab, and then you drain the water, and you keep some of it for dipping, but like you drain all the water out, and you lay down a bunch of paper towels or newspapers, as they do it in the South, and you just dump all the contents onto the table, and everybody eats with their hands. And I throw out bread, and sometimes like a butter or cocktail sauce for the shrimp or whatever, so that people can like dip in and enjoy it. It's always a lot of fun. It's communal, and then it's easy to clean up. You just like wrap it all up and throw it in the garbage.
Oh my God, you literally just gave us now, everyone, literally a recipe of a nice meal. Easily.
Yeah.
I can see people make notes now after that, and like stop the interview, make more notes, stop it again. Thanks to you.
Well, the beauty of it is that you can change it up. I do something different every time. Sometimes I'll throw artichokes in there, whatever. But the key ingredients are the potatoes, kielbasa, shrimp, and corn on the cob.
Amazing. Very good.
Yeah.
Next question. Right, before the next question, tell me about your journey so far as a tattoo artist. Why did you decide to start? What's the passion?
It's very complicated. It's a long story. And I went through a very dark period pre-COVID. I would say 2017 is when it started. I ran into legal issues, and I went away for a while, and it was pretty bad. And I was at my all-time low. Obviously, I lost my job. I'm still really good friends with my boss, but my old boss. But it was just a very intense experience. My mother died, and I just had this total transformation. I just decided I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, and I didn't want to be in the art scene, because the fine art scene it's more along the lines of what I do. And I just don't like the art world. I don't like the business. I have friends that are involved in the business, and it's just not me. It's not for me. And a friend of mine was just like, why don't you do tattooing? Because I draw very linear. And I was like, you know what? That's a great idea. People make a lot of money off of it. It's not going out of style. It's just becoming more and more popular. So it just seems like something that would just be a lot more fun. I wouldn't have to like have mental breakdowns trying to like figure out what my next monumental art thing would be, and it just seemed fun, immediate, and lucrative for making money. I think it's something I think I made a good decision, but I'm struggling. I'm still an apprentice. And it's not coming to me as naturally as other art forms, other mediums. I've always been a natural with drawing, and skin is just a new medium. It's a new challenge, but I'm accepting of new challenges.
Amazing. Very good. Next question is, what 3 things are you most grateful for?
I'm most grateful for, to be honest, I would say, for my family. I was very blessed to be born into with such wonderful parents, and so forgiving and understanding, because I was a difficult kid, and they really kind of helped me understand the important values in life. And I think gratefulness is the most important thing to have. I think to be humble and grateful, I think the most important thing to yearn for.
Saying that, how was growing up as a gay boy in your experience? Did you have the support of your family? How was it?
So from age 2 to 11 or 12, I was in Dallas, Texas, and it was horrific. It was the worst experience ever. I was constantly made fun of. I was a little overweight. I was effeminate, or all of that. I still am, but I was tortured. psychologically. They were awful. My parents had no idea. They were just, small town people. They didn't pick up on the signs. And so I just kind of lived that in silence. But I am grateful for that experience because it's what made me humble. What gave me a good sense of humor. And it also made me understand that I was just different and I was authentically myself, and I wasn't going to let other people change who I was. And to be honest, I would say if I had stayed in Texas, it could have gone really bad.
Mm-hmm.
It could have gone really bad. But we moved to Florida, and when I moved there, everybody was super accepting of me. In Fort Lauderdale, like, I had great friends. I came out when I was 17 to my friends, and it was a little hard at first for them, but it was great. And then my parents found out two very, very bizarre ways. So my mom, obviously, she found my porn in my drawer while I was at school, and I came home from school, and she's from Costa Rica, and she's like, Dustin, I was cleaning out your drawers, and I thought I had found your stack of Details magazine, but it was much more detailed than I expected.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I was like, Mom, you've been thinking about that all day, haven't you? He was spot on. It was definitely more detailed. And then my dad found out on national television, actually. It's crazy. I was in a Levi's commercial in 1999.
Wow.
It was directed by Errol Morris. Do you know who Errol Morris is?
No.
He invented the Interatron. He's a documentary guy. He did A Thin Blue Line. He did Mr. Death, Fog of War. Ever heard of him? Anyway, so he has this invention, and it was in the MoMA too. They played it at the MoMA. But he has this invention. It's a camera, and the lens, his face appears on the big lens. So when he's interviewing, you're looking directly at the screen. Anyways, he interviewed me, and blah, blah, blah. He decided to use the part where I was talking about my dad almost outing me, like me accidentally slipping and telling him I was gay, and then but then he didn't figure it out, and so they used that portion, and I was getting money for it, like how you get every time it's played you get paid, and I was paying for my college. I was in college at the time, so I'd send my dad the checks, and he was like, when can I see the commercial? And I was like, oh, it only comes on late at night. It was like on MTV and Comedy Central or whatever. And I was like, you'll never see it. And he's like, well, what do you say? What do you do in it? And I was like, oh, nothing. It was, I can't even remember what scripted or whatever. Well, this was like in 99, and you couldn't stream things easily, but he had a buddy that had a computer that could stream video on the internet. So without telling me, he looked it up on the internet and found it, and him and all his poker buddies saw the commercial. That's how my dad found out.
Oh my God. And he called you straight away, or he talked to you? It took a while for him to...
No, I didn't talk to him for like 6 months. My mom called me and was like, your father saw the commercial, like, I was like, oh. And within that period of time, my dad had lost his job, and they sold the house and moved into an RV, and they were just traveling around the world, around the US at that time. And it took about a year for us to like sit down in person and like talk about it. But he was actually more cool with it than I thought, because he was a Marine and stuff like that. But he over the years, he's become the most supportive, wonderful human being. I'm very proud of my dad, and I'm very lucky that he's grown with me as well.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Dustin from New York City. Next question is, share share with us a crazy story or a funny story that happened to you when you were a child at school.
Funny story that happened to me when I was a child in school.
Yeah.
Does it have to be in school?
No, could be anything. What's the first thing that came to your mind right now?
I have so many freaking stories. I can't even tell you. Because Florida, we had a lot of fun. We did a lot of crazy things. Whew. I'm gonna go really far back, and this is crazy. I don't know why this is the first thing that came to my mind actually. Um, I was probably like 8 years old, and there was this girl across the street from me that I really didn't like, but we hung out together anyway. And we used to be competitive of who could be more tan than the other one. Like it was like in the summer, and we would try to get like really tan, and we'd like compare our arms and stuff. And she would always just get darker than me, and I just like I can get darker than this. So my mom was a Mary Kay consultant, and so she sold makeup, and I had seen her, how she applied foundation and stuff, and she had the little sponges. So I went into her vanity case where she had her stash of all of her makeups, and she had all these foundations for women of all different colors, shades. So I found the darkest, and I covered my entire body with it, my whole, like everything. And I put on my headphones and my roller skates, and I was like about to roller skate across the street to tell my neighbor, to show my neighbor, like, look how tan I got. But my next door neighbor saw me roller skating up the driveway like that. And she ran out there, and she's like, "Good Lord, what are you doing? You can't go out there like that." And she stopped me, and she made me take off all my makeup and all the makeup, and she told my mom and everything. But looking back now, I cringe because I'm just like, oh my God, that could have been bad. Yeah.
I love your imagination. I love it. That's funny. Right. Next question. Let's do it, Dustin. Before the next question, tell me how is being an artist in New York City? It's easy. It's the place to be. It's, competitive. Tell me a little bit about your journey, how do you feel about being an artist, illustrator in New York City?
It's definitely easier because it's where everybody is. Mm-hmm. And the networking, that's why I struggle. Illustration is a whole different story than the art world. You could be a book illustrator, children's book illustrator, magazines, graphic design, that kind of stuff. And it just seemed a little. I didn't know if commercial art is where I wanted to go. Like, I don't like having an art director. I don't like I don't want to like produce something and have them be like, change this, change this, change this, change this. And it just seems soul sucking. It seems also, I guess maybe also I'm sensitive. Mm-hmm. And I would get my feelings hurt a lot. Just like, don't want to deal with that. I just want to like produce what's from my brain, but not have to deal with this pretentious high art bullshit. Because really, most artists that are successful these days, like while they're alive, are independently wealthy. And that's the downside to New York City is you see a lot of people and you're like, how the hell do they get so much done? Well, because daddy sends them a paycheck, daddy pays the rent. And, they never mention that, and it's just like, I have to survive. I have to make money. So like right now I'm literally a house painter. I'm going into people's apartments. I'm painting people's houses so that I can intern or I can apprentice 2 days a week at the shop practicing on skin, practicing my designs, and so it's going slow. But once I get there, I say in 5 years I'll probably be completely just tattooing. In the meantime, I'm just doing odd jobs. I'm doing, the painting thing actually pays pretty well. You know, I'm a houseboy sometimes. Doing what I can to make ends meet until I can actually truly just do everything that comes from my mind, and I'm looking forward to that.
Amazing. It's all part of the journey, the process as well. I think, it's when you look in the future, when you look back, you're gonna go like, oh my God, I'm so glad that I went through that, because you're gonna get to the place where you're meant to be, for sure.
Absolutely.
Next question is, what would be your ideal day?
Ideal day, like work day, or ideal relaxation day?
When you think about, like, for you, what could be any, what you think for you is like ideal, like for you, okay, could be working or could be just relaxing. What for you find ideal for you?
It's funny because once I start working, I feel so satisfied when I accomplish something, even if it's just like one drawing. You've got to just keep working and stuff. So I think that ideal day would be wake up, splash my face with water, go to the gym, that get your pheromones going, that serotonin and that dopamine, and then sit down, do maybe like 2 hours of drawing. And if I mean, like in the future, if I'm tattooing, it'll be a day of tattooing. That's probably going to be about 4 to 6 hours of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, sit down with a delicious meal and a glass of wine and watch some TV with my boyfriend and fall asleep with a smile on my face. It's simple.
That's very romantic.
Yeah.
You said that you're not romantic.
Not romantic. It's just like what we like to do.
3 questions left for you, Dustin. Let's do it. Next question is, what's something not many people know about you?
That I'm basically like a 12-year-old boy trapped in a man's body. Like I think I'm a lot more. I mean, some people know, but not a lot of people know. I do have a lot of insecurities from my childhood that I still battle, and sometimes try to overcompensate. And sometimes people think that I'm a lot more confident than I really am. But yeah, I'm a really sensitive soul.
What's your star sign?
Pisces.
Very interesting. Yes, very sensitive for sure. For sure. Which day?
The 11th of March.
My mom is the 9th.
Oh, nice. Smack dab. Right in the center.
Yeah. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me one of your piece of your art that you've done, your illustration, that you go like, you know what, this one always gonna have a special place for me. Always, if something behind of it, something that you did, something that you go like, that's my piece of art. That's it's your favorite, or maybe there is a story behind, or there is something that you have connection with that you go like, okay, that's something that's you've done that's you feel very connected with.
It's interesting because I have a different relationship with everything that I make. I have some big pieces that I've poured like over 800 hours in, where I'm just like, I don't even have to look at that anymore. And there's other pieces that I worked and completed in 3 hours where I'm like, this is just my favorite. Visually, it's just like my favorite. And I did a series of illustrations for Estee Lauder, what do you call it? Their origins. And I had to do a lot of botanical drawings. And I really just went crazy on the chaga mushroom. That it's just like it was on this birch tree, and I just did a bunch of drawings of these chaga mushrooms, and they just got so abstract, and um and I love them so much because they look super like detailed and gothic and dark looking, but they're just mushrooms, you know.
Mm.
And I think they're some of the most beautiful drawings as is that I've done, where I'm just like, wow, I really have talent. When I look at it, I'm just like, that's pretty impressive. I'm really proud of myself for those. Yeah.
This one. Okay. Talking about childhood before, tell me what do you miss the most from your childhood and why?
Say again.
Tell me what do you miss the most from your childhood and why?
Oh, not having responsibilities, obviously, not having to be an adult,
Hmm.
just being able, I can just, you know, being able to not have to worry about your bills or your laundry or anything like that. Just to exist and just to be.
As you mentioned about your mom, that she's not here anymore. When you think about her, what's the best memory that comes to your mind?
Um, we had a lot of amazing times. I mean, my mother was just the most wonderful person. But I remember the night before I left home, I just remember, I always think about that. Um, so I was going to college, and it was just the last night. My mom was like super overprotective in high school, and I was kind of annoyed with her. Like I really was ready to move out and stuff, but I just felt really, I was feeling a little nervous and a little sad. I was moving to New York City the next day, and so we shared a bottle of wine and we got, drunk. And I just remember dancing to Roy Orbison in the living room, and she was standing on my feet, and we were just dancing, and it was just one of the most joyous moments I had. And she was crying because I was leaving the next day, and I was crying, and yeah, it was a really sweet moment. I think that was one of my favorite memories.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. Thanks for sharing. Thanks, Dustin.
Yeah.
Ready for the
Sure.
last ready for the last one?
Yes.
Last question. Let's do it. But before the last question, people watch the interview right now. Maybe they want to start like a journey, like as you said, moving to New York City or moving to a big city where they can, try their luck or try a career in illustration, in arts, or maybe a tattoo artist as well. Big cities, people, they always, some people, they go like, okay, that's the place to be. What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
I mean, that reminds. Okay, so I wrote down some quotes because you told me to like come up with some quotes,
In
right,
the end,
for
yeah, in
this.
the end, yeah.
And I would say there's a couple quotes here that probably are like I take as like the best advice, I guess, in this persist. So, well, one is Winston Churchill. He said, "Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm,"
Mm.
which is like where I'm at right now. It's been I keep on like, I do a tattoo, and it's not to the quality of the apprenticeship program, and it's not happening for me, and I'm seeing other people succeeding a lot quicker, and it's really easy to get down on myself and compare myself to other people. That's one thing that you never do. Never compare yourself to anybody else, because you're always on your own journey,
Yeah.
and we all blossom at different times. So never compare yourself to other people, and just never stop. um, and then there's this other quote by Octavia Butler that I liked, which is, "First forget inspiration. Habit is more dependable. Habit will sustain you whether you're inspired or not. Habit is persistence and practice."
Wow. Very good. Okay. Now, in the end, I don't need to ask you anymore. You already shared two beautiful quotes.
Sure.
Okay, last question for you is, what's the biggest difference between you and your partner?
Oh, what's the biggest difference?
Yeah.
Geez, we're opposites. I would say he's way more consistently diligent. My diligence comes in waves. I'll have like moments of productivity, and then I'll have lulls. I'm like this and he's like this.
Right. And the biggest similarity?
Our sense of humor.
Interesting. Okay. It's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking, okay? So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. One word for family.
Dies. I don't know why that came to my sorry.
Money.
Failure.
How about love?
Eternal.
Life.
Eternal. Sorry.
Sex.
Fun.
Politics.
Burning.
Religion.
Asinine.
Fear.
Imaginary.
Friendship.
Forever.
Desire.
Fleeting.
Regret.
Never.
Success.
Always.
Wish.
Star.
Happiness.
Joy.
One word for New York City.
Skinny.
I like that.
It's like everyone says it's this big city. It's not really very big. It's very tall and skinny.
One word for Brooklyn.
Punk.
One word for illustrator.
Diligence.
And the last one now, tattoo artist, one word.
Relaxing.
Interesting. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your lovely boyfriend for a coffee, yeah? And I'm going to ask him, what is the most beautiful thing about Dustin? And what's something that he still needs to work on, to improve on? What your boyfriend would say?
Dustin is a true, beautiful heart, but he needs to work on his willpower and and his drinking.
Do you see some work in progress regarding that?
I go back and forth, yeah.
Amazing.
I rarely drink around him anymore. We don't need to. So
let's play now Dustin and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. Okay, you can ask me a question now.
I can ask you a question.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see which one I wanted to pick.
Oh.
I have a lot of them, but I have, let's see. Based on your interview with me, let's see. What's the biggest risk you've ever taken?
Wow, what's a good question. When I was 19 years old, before that, when I was 12 years old, I started studying English and I fell in love with the language. And I always had a dream to live in a country where I could speak English every single day. When I was 19 years old, I literally left Brazil, left home, left everything, my parents, my family, job, everything there, and across all the world to Portugal. Yeah. And why Portugal? Because, it wasn't there yet, English, but Long story short, I had the opportunity to live in Portugal, and from there I said, okay, from that I go to London, I can go to Ireland, or I can speak English every single day. So I think for me it was the biggest risk, because I'll tell you why. When I was living in Brazil, until then, I had plan B, yeah? Plan A was me, you know what I mean? But plan B was my family. If something goes wrong, my family was there. But when I moved to Portugal, there was no plan B anymore.
Right.
So for me, that was the biggest risk, because I was literally going to another part of the world on my own without knowing what would happen. You know what I mean? So when I look back, 19 years old, it's like, my God, I don't know, with the knowledge I have right now, back then, I think I'll do it again anyway. But I was like, oh my God, I'll think twice, knowing now the world we live right now, but I've been very lucky and fortunate that, beautiful people cross my path. I have a lot of angels. I call my friends angels, because they always been there for me. And so, yeah, I can tell you, Dustin, that was the biggest risk I ever taken, for sure. There's no doubt, because, going on your own for another culture, another country, another part of the world on your own, it's something that you don't do every single day. So I when I look back, I go like, oh my goodness. And I'm so grateful, again, back to grateful. I'm so grateful that I had, at the time, I had the courage, I had, the willpower, everything that got me back, and it just went, okay, you know what? Just follow your intuition, your dreams, and just go for it. So,
and your family encouraged you as well?
Actually, somehow my mom did. My parents, I've been very lucky, because they always let me free. Yeah, they always trust me. Whatever I want to do it, they were like, okay, if you want to do it, just do it. Of deep inside, I'm sure they were worried. They were, you know what I mean, like very, very worried about it. But they never said, okay, think twice, or are you sure? They never questioned me anything. Just was there for me, because they knew that they could feel how much I wanted. And they just, but deep inside for them, I'm sure it wasn't easy. My mom was crying, like when I left in the airport, and like it broke my heart. But it meant to be this way. So I'm so grateful again for this experience, for sure. And now I can speak English every single day, so I live a dream.
You're doing it with this interviewing thing that you're doing. I love it.
Oh my God, thank you so much. Yeah, it's something as well that it meant to be for me. The Magic Box, it's a dream. It's a dream. It's something that came out, in 2020, when the world went upside down. I think it's the biggest gift I ever had, for sure.
That's great. Keep it up.
Thank you so much, Dustin. Thanks so much. Thanks again for taking the time for the interview. Thanks for being so sweet and so kind. And I see you in New York City one day.
Absolutely. Hit me up.
And good luck with your, with your career. Good luck as well with your tattoo artist now. This new journey start for you as well. Keep going, and I can see you in 5 years' time, like living the best of you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Take care, okay? Keep in touch, Dustin. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.